Huge show live from Radio Row on the DNVR Broncos podcast. We've got multiple Hall of Famers on our show, including this guy, Steve Atwater, Champ Bailey, Prince Amukamara, Alex Singleton. Huge show, and it all starts now. We've got a Hall of Fame show, and we are joined by Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. We've got Hall of Famer Champ Bailey, Alex Singleton joining us, Prince Amukamara joining us, Dan Orlovsky joining us. What a show on the DNVR Broncos podcast. We are presented by Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Deposit $10, place a $5 bet. You're going to get $150 in bonus bets. Without further ado, we've got Super Bowl 50 champ Todd Davis. We've got Henry Chisholm, Zach Stevens, and our man, the myth, the legend, Hall of Famer Steve Atwater.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, baby.
No. It's y'all world. It's y'all world. I give y'all a clap, man. Y'all got commercials. Y'all big time over here, man.
No, you need a standing ovation.
It's all good.
Steve, how's New Orleans treating you so far?
Everything's pretty good, man. The food is good. The people are nice. I feel safe. So that's the makings of a good day.
That is.
Can't beat it. You try any like exotic foods while you're here? Like you ever try alligator or raccoon or anything?
No. I'm not that adventurous. Now my wife, she may try anything, but no, I'm on the straight and narrow.
Okay. Smart man.
Yeah. What about you? Have you tried anything?
No, I have tried alligator once. It wasn't bad. It's just a little chewy, but I think that's as far as I'll go.
Yeah,
like, I don't do anything else.
Same here.
Besides that.
I accidentally tried. My wife tricked me. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
They wait till you're done. Like, did you like it? What was it? Yeah.
And then once she told me it was alligator, like, no, I didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Steve, would you ever hold an alligator?
If its mouth was taped together,
yeah,
and it couldn't smack me with its tail, because I've seen alligators smack me with their tail, and messing people up. So, I would do it. A small alligator.
Yeah. Because we were at an event earlier this week, and a lot of people in our company were holding an alligator, and it was similar. It was pretty floppy, not going anywhere. But I wanted to stay so far away from that thing.
How big was it?
It was pretty big. I think it was like 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, you picked up a 70 pounds?
No, it wasn't 70 pounds. It was like 30 pounds.
Oh.
30 pounds. But he's like that.
It felt like 70
It looked like it. It was like as big as this table.
He's definitely afraid of like snakes and alligators and stuff. So like we were just standing by the exhibit. We weren't in it, and he would not come near us.
No,
he had to wait until we left to come back to the group.
I went to go get ice cream when they were doing that.
Yeah. Okay, so I say that. I think I would.
Okay.
So it's not 100% that I would. When I had to analyze the situation, and it may change, right?
Steve, you can join my side. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. I might. You never know. I wouldn't want you to be over there by yourself, Zach. You know?
I appreciate that, Steve. You're keeping me company.
Exactly.
Todd and I were also talking. We gotta get souvenirs figured out.
Yeah.
Him for his wife, me for my girlfriend. I have no idea what to do because we probably don't want something with a Super Bowl logo.
Why
what do
not?
you get? I mean, I just don't know that she'd wear it.
Okay.
But what do you bring somebody back from New Orleans? You know?
Some gumbo.
Gumbo.
Gumbo. Or a picture of some gumbo.
Picture of some gumbo. She'll love
That
it.
you ate, and then you can tell her how good it was.
Picture some gumbo.
You may get into a fight, but you know, you did get her something. You thought about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
This hat's a good souvenir, huh? What do you think, Steve? Would you rock that?
No.
Absolutely not. I don't know if I would even take it in my house.
No.
I mean, somebody in the league would. Everybody gets those like the game day fits now. There's somebody in the league who would wear that.
That's very true.
I don't know who.
That's very true.
After a lot of drinks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Steve, we are, just 10 hours away potentially from Pat Surtain being named the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
Do you think he'll win it, and what's your case for him to win it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, he's been consistent. I mean, each year in the league, he's gotten better and better and better. He's had a great year this year, a great year last year. I think he's super deserving of it. He's a great leader on that defense as well. And that defense made a ton of plays this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
I think he's being a great player, but I also feel like people don't understand how hard it is to play that position. Playing corner or DB, like trying to tackle an open space, you got to run backwards as fast as guys run forward. Talk about how you did it and, became such a dominant player in the NFL.
Well, I'm talking about Pat. Pat on a whole nother level in that regards. And the thing about it, he makes it look easy.
He does.
And it's, like you said, that's, I would say, the most difficult position on the defense. That's, in my opinion, as a defensive back.
Yep.
Because I've seen the corners in their task. And in the clutch situations, guess what? The quarterback, they're trying to beat you. They're trying to throw to that top receiver. And if you have a cornerback like Pat Surtain, you can shut that down. They may have a few catches here and there, but they're not going to beat you with game-winning catches. The receivers and quarterbacks aren't if you have a great cornerback. And he's done that. The quarterback doesn't even look this side of the field most of the time.
It's definitely the hardest position because I know, like, most people get nervous in 2-minute drill. I relax because they're attacking the corner. They're not really worried about me right now. Yeah. I'm just dropping back in coverage, making it look like I'm doing something.
The crazy thing with Pat is that every pass they complete is so short. I'm pretty sure I think he's the only starting cornerback in the NFL that didn't miss a tackle this season.
Wow.
It's like you just give up the short pass, you go make the tackle, move on to the next play. They never get him.
But that's the thing. I mean, he has worked on his game each and every year. He's gotten better. And, in the past, we've seen him miss a tackle here or there. But it hasn't been a bunch of tackles. But, like I said, he hasn't missed any tackles.
Not one. Not once all season, which is crazy.
And it seems like he's been more physical, too. He's coming up and he's standing up. What you got?
Yeah, one of those, there was like a tackle in the flat. I think it was like a 3rd down, 4th down. He was like on our side of the field in the press box, and he got the big flex in there. Oh, love it.
Yep.
Steve, what's crazy to me, you think about the Orange Crush defense, the back-to-back championship defense, Super Bowl 50 defense. The Broncos have only won one Defensive Player of the Year award going into tonight.
Crazy.
That blows my mind. Aren't there so many other guys that could have won it, deserve to win it?
Yeah, but when you look across the league and, Defensive Player of the Year is kind of an individual honor.
Yeah.
And, you have certain individuals, man, across the league who can have great years. I mean, and Pat Surtain has had some great years, but this will be his first time winning it. So it says a lot. I mean, that's a very difficult honor to win. But so you can't have great defenses who play well together, and you also got to have guys who play well individually. But, man, to get that honor is just playing individually on a whole nother level. And, Pat Surtain, like I said, he's done that. Man, he's done that from day one.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I'll keep the conversation going about defenses. I think the Broncos defense this year had a pretty good year, and there's a couple of draft boards that have them actually taking the D lineman in the 1st round. When you look at this defense, do you feel like that's a position of need, or are there other places where they could probably use a high draft pick to fill need?
So I'm the wrong person to ask that to because I always want to draft defensive linemen. Whenever somebody asks me, that's the safest position to draft is a dog interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them just last year after year after year, and they rarely get hurt. Well, obviously, sometimes you'll have it happen, but, I've seen so many first-round picks at that defensive line position go on and have big-time success. So, yes, I think we should draft that position always.
Okay. I was a big fan of D linemen, too. Those big boys to keep the old linemen off you.
That's right.
They're important.
Yeah, they help stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, we need that.
What did you think how Riley Moss played this season? Because I thought it was incredible. You show up
100%.
a little tough at the end of the season, like a couple tough games after the injury, but you have to like what you saw, right?
Oh, definitely. Riley Moss is a dog, too, man. He's got the potential to be, a cornerback that's going to equal Pat's, production on the field, man. He's fast, he's tough, he's reliable. I hate that he had the injury this year. And then once he had the injury, then I guess teams said, hey, he may not be all the way back, so they tried to go at him a little bit more. But yeah, definitely I love our cornerbacks. Jaquan McMillan in the slot.
Yep.
man, we were solid at that position.
Steve, we made it 10 minutes into the interview. This might be a record without talking about Bo Nix. You played with an all-time great, with John Elway. Not saying Bo is John yet, but do you see traits that can make him, that you saw in John, that could make Bo a special quarterback eventually?
100%, because John, one, not only was an accurate passer, but he also could get out of difficult situations with his legs. And Bo Nix does an amazing job of doing that. And, we saw this from his film from Oregon, University of Oregon, where he just didn't create that many turnovers. And he used his legs efficiently, and he was a very accurate passer. And you had those traits, and he's a smart person, smart young man. I think his future is super bright.
He's tough, too.
He is.
That's the other thing. He'll hang
hits.
in the pocket.
Yeah,
he'll take a hit.
Yeah.
That's the part that maybe reminds me the most of Elway. Is just that you hang right in there and you take the beating, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and I saw a couple of times when he ran out of pocket when he probably didn't have to step up in there, but that'll come. That'll come. I've seen him do it in college, so I know that he'll do that more and more as he has his confidence in that offensive line that they're going to not let anybody on that interior part there to hit him. So, yeah, just it was a really exciting year, I think, and a refreshing year because we really didn't expect as much as we got.
Yeah.
Steve, we're big Chiefs or Eagles fans.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, big
No.
Eagles fans.
Whoa,
We're
man.
pulling against
what he
the
said.
Chiefs
Hey, man.
on
He said what he
Sunday.
said. You learn something every day.
I'm gonna tell you, Zach, you almost got hit by Todd, and I almost came across the table when you said you can't make those kind of mistakes.
I know.
Baby.
You were about to hit me just as hard as you've hit the Chiefs in the past.
Oh, my gosh.
We're big Eagles fans.
Okay.
There we go. This Sunday, how would you want to see the Chiefs lose this game? See, there we go. Now I can say I'm officially not a Chiefs fan.
So here's the dilemma, right? It's like, who do you want to win, and who do you think is going to win?
Yeah.
Those are two different questions.
Yep.
Because I don't want the Chiefs to win.
Yes.
But if you put a gun to my head and tell me, like, all right, you got to bet your last $20 on who's going to win, I probably would put it on the Chiefs.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, because they find a way to win in these types of games, and that's what I think that's what Sean Payton's trying to build with our team.
Yep.
Regardless of the game, regardless of the situation, we're going to show up, we're going to give it 110%, and we're going to win those games.
Yep.
And the Chiefs they've shown it time and time that they can do that. And I know we're trying to get to that point.
Yep.
We're definitely trying to get there. And the scary thing about the Chiefs is everybody talks about Mahomes and that offense. I think their defense is actually pretty good right now. You talk about their front, their linebackers, safeties, and corners. They definitely have a better defense than anybody gives them credit for.
Totally.
Don't want to hype them up too much, but
Gotta
be honest. Gotta be honest.
So, Steve, before we let you go, I know you played safety, but we got to have you take a shot at this field goal here. Let's see if you can do it. I got confidence in you.
I want to hit the guy over there.
Oh, no, you can hit him. You can hit him. Don't worry about it.
Straight
Right
through.
down the middle.
Cleanest.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yes, sir.
Let's go,
Steve. Appreciate you, Steve.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Absolutely, man.
Love having you on. The man, the myth, the legend, Steve Atwater, Hall of Fame player, and even better person. You're the man, Steve. Thank you so much. Awesome to have Steve on our show. Man, just absolutely love anytime we get to talk to him. Thank you for your time, Steve. You are the man.
Appreciate you, man.
So cool to talk to him. And, man, this is just the start of our show. We're going to hear from another Hall of Fame player in Champ Bailey. But before we do that, got to give a shout out to our presenting sponsor, which is Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 over at Bet365 to get in on all the action, whether you're talking about the Super Bowl, whether you're talking about the Nuggets, whether you're talking about the Avs. Henry, when's the next Nuggets and Avs game? I've been so dialed into the Super Bowl,
I don't think the
I
Nuggets
can't
and
even
Avs
remember.
play.
Yeah.
They never play? What do you mean?
Well, no. The Avs, I'm pretty
against
sure.
each other? Get out of here.
He's a funny guy over there. Who do you think would win? I guess it depends on the sport. The Avs, I think they're off now for the Four Nations Cup.
Correct.
So they won't be back for a while.
Well, then you just got to focus on the Super Bowl, I guess, is what it is.
When's the Puppy Bowl?
Get out of here. It's always like at noon on Sunday. You can probably get at. You probably can. And you can do it with $150 in bonus bets. Of course, they have the Puppy Bowl odds, I'm sure. Over at Bet365. Use that code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place a $5 bet. You're going to get $150 in bonus bets when you sign up. And if you want to support us, that's how you can support us, is if you're going to be wagering on any game, go to Bet365, do it. Use that code DNVR365, and they're going to hook you up with $150 as well. We owe Bet365 a big debt of gratitude because they're a big reason why we're out here. So shout out to them. Use that code DNVR365 if you're going to make any bets this weekend, and if you want to support us. Must be 21 and older, physically located in Colorado. Must gamble, or please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Also, shout out to Lucy. If you're tobacco-free but looking for some nicotine, you can join so many DNVR employees. We got Yaya, we got RK, Jake.
Spence.
Yeah. Yes. All
These guys were looking for Lucy last night, I'll tell you that.
They needed some Lucy. And if you...
to get goosey.
Getting loosey-goosey. Yeah, so... head over to Lucy. I mean, I guess it's not a place so much as like a product you can buy at different places. But if you want to get in on the action, you can go to lucy.co/DNVR. Use the promo code DNVR. You get 20% off your first order. It's a steal. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy. So if you change your mind, you don't like it, whatever it may be, you can send it back, get a full refund. Again, that's lucy.co. Lucy just spelled like the name Lucy, Lucy. Use the code DNVR. You get 20% off. Here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. All right, fellas, we have been walking around this place. Radio Row today is popping. Would you say it's more popping today, yesterday?
Today is the most popping day.
And it's probably going to be.
Everybody's here.
Tomorrow might be one notch up, but typically the kind of peaks on Thursday. It is insane. Literally, 30 feet that way? We're looking at the Pat McAfee set. They're live right now. We appreciate you guys choosing us over Pat McAfee. That's what we're here for, is the local coverage that you want. We've got our PHLY or DLS guys on the left. We got our CHGO guys on the right. They're live as well. Who have we seen? We've seen Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Obviously, Kay Adams is here. George Kittle is here. And then a couple of Hall of Famers. We got Emmitt Smith on. Right when we had Steve Atwater, Emmitt Smith was on the Dallas show, DLLS. So at the same time, and then they had Charles Peanut Tillman. Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
But Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah, Pro Bowler.
Yeah. Pro Bowler, All-Pro, a couple of years probably. That is just insane. And then, of course, there's some Broncos legends here. Shannon Sharp is here. He might be the most fit person here, including literally players.
Yeah. I think even right now you can look over Todd's shoulder, and there's old Nick Wright, who says a bunch of things I disagree with.
Yeah, I was only going to give a shout out to, like, people we like.
Yeah, the blue suit.
Yeah, I was talking to RK, and I'm like, should we try to have him on? And it's like, what do we even ask him?
Ask him why he disrespects Joker.
Yeah.
And the Broncos.
He just hates everything.
He's from Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly. Enough airtime for that guy.
Yeah.
That Joker.
And then also, Hall of Famer Champ Bailey is in the house doing the rounds. So we caught up with him to ask about Pat Surtain and his case to be the Defensive Player of the Year. Let's listen to this 1-minute clip of Champ talking about Pat. Here with Champ Bailey, the legend number 24. Champ, a lot of people thought that you should have been the Defensive Player of the Year with the Broncos. Now Pat is the heavy favorite. What would it mean for him to be named Defensive Player of the Year?
I mean, it'd be great because, like you say, it's not a lot of corners that do win the award. And when we do have seasons like he had this past year, I think it's warranted that he wins it. I mean, the dude put the work in. He's been an All-Pro. He's got more All-Pro votes than anybody else. So, yeah, he should be the guy.
So when he wins, should you also get one retroactive?
No, it's his. He represents all corners. All right, boy.
Appreciate you,
yes,
Champ.
sir. Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Thanks so much,
Thank you. Man, love that. And Dominic Foxworth just jumped in at the end there. That's who he was saying what's up to. But it is kind of a crazy – I love how happy Champ is for Pat because Champ deserved a Defensive Player of the Year award. That season he had, 8, 9, 10 interceptions? But as we know, sacks kind of win these awards most of the time. And so Champ was robbed, but he's happy for Pat.
That's funny. You said the other guy walked up and dapped him up. I thought that was you. I haven't seen the clip yet. So I was like, oh, dang, Zach got a good dap.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Sounded smooth. I said, okay, there you go, Zach. No, but this award usually goes to outside rush just because the stats are so in your face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know when somebody has 18 to 20 sacks and how good of a season that is. What Pat does is undeniable when you watch him play. You can't just go to stats. You got to actually pull in the film. You see him locking guys down. You see him making big plays, interceptions, pick sixes. I mean, it's undeniable how talented he is. Best corner in football. We all know it. So I definitely think that he deserves the award.
Yeah, he just plays a position where stats don't matter. It's like Larry Allen probably would have won MVP at some point if there were offensive line stats. But those just there's just no way to track what you do during the course of a game.
Yeah.
Is that the hardest position to win an MVP, you think, is offensive line?
For sure.
Long snapper.
You think kicker would be easier?
No, kicker's easier.
I would agree.
Kicker has one.
I agree.
Yeah, the kicker has one.
Will win.
A while back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. And there was, who was it? It was Jason Kelsey, I think, and Andrew Whitworth, who were making the case that there should be like an MVP for an offensive lineman.
Yes.
Who is that him right
Most
there?
Most protected.
I cannot tell.
Best protector. What would they call it?
Certainly bald.
Yeah. Best protector.
Yeah.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, maybe so.
We called that something like that.
Sponsored by Trojan.
Whoa!
That would be the rightful protection award, right?
It would be.
Yeah, there's no breaks in this award.
Yeah.
All this other stuff like no Trojan.
Yeah. You could go with health insurance is always going to keep you protected.
Yeah.
Todd, it's been almost a full week, just alone.
That's why, my mind is spiraling out of control right now. I got to get home.
I'm gonna scoot over a little bit.
No, it's not going that far. My mind will never go that far.
I might need to wear the hat.
Yeah, I think that might be Lane Johnson on set.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I can't fully
All
see.
linemen are the same.
You think that's Brian Dable just because he's
he
bald?
is.
You hear? That's not
Yeah.
Brian Dable.
Is that Brian Davis?
I think it is.
Todd thinks it's Brian Dable just because he's bald as well. That's not Brian Dable.
Ball short.
No,
little
not
stocky.
Brian. You need to do some research.
Yeah.
Find out who that is.
Figure out who's on the pack.
Because
Yeah.
I want to give you guys crap just for calling a bald guy Brian Dable.
Somebody called you Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, it's true.
Dan Orlovsky.
And you know who that was?
No, it was
Who?
Prince Amukamara
Yeah.
called me Frankie Muniz because we got to catch up with him.
Who's that?
That's Orlando Brown Jr. Come on, baby.
Brown Jr. He is big.
Isn't it? Yeah, he is a protector. That is for sure. So we caught up with Prince Amukamara to ask about Pat Surtain. Man, did he have some glowing things to say. Before we dive into that, can you spell Prince Amukamara's name?
Prince.
Okay, good.
I got it
Yep,
from
now
here.
Amukamara.
A-M-U-K,
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Good job, guys.
I spelled Fleur-de-Lis right, too.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't catch it on camera, but Todd was there.
Oh, yeah. I was close, but wasn't able to get that. We saw Megan Payton here, Sean Payton's daughter. Great to catch up with her, and it was great to catch up with Prince Amukamara. Let's hear from the Prince now. The legend, Prince Amukamara. Prince, Pat Surtain up for Defensive Player of the Year. What do you think of him?
Such a dog, dude. I got to see him in person playing in the Raiders. I did not know just like how big and how built he was, but definitely should get it. I definitely think he is the best corner in his game and has been for the last couple of years. I don't know who's up, but I know they probably give it to a defensive lineman. I feel like they'll always do. I mean, the last person who got it was a DB was Stephon Gilmore, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, and I know you're not gonna ask me this, but as we're on it, pulling for Vic Fangio and the Eagles. I know I had Matt Nagy with the Bears, but and Spagnuolo with the Giants, but I'm not trying to see a three-peat.
No. So how would you like to see the Chiefs lose?
Ooh, that is a great. Have you asked anyone that question? It's a great question. How would I like to see the Chiefs lose? Yeah, I mean, I want it to be a nail biter. And
Just our hearts
a
ripped out.
tush push, a good old nice plush tushy push, just a tush push to end it. And that's how they got there. So why not?
Right on. Thank you, Prince.
Thank you.
Appreciate
You look like Frankie Muniz.
You kind of caught the end there. Is that a compliment? I can't say I know what Frankie Muniz looks like.
You don't? Oh, yeah. I mean,
I know of the name.
He had movies. So.
Wait, what movies?
Oh, dang.
Big
Big Fat Liar? Yeah.
Big Fat Liar?
that's right.
Oh, okay. I did see that
is he
one.
Agent Cody Banks, too?
Yeah, Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah.
Agent Cody. Okay, I'll have to look him up. What do you guys think? Is that spot on?
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So he's a good-looking guy, is what you're saying.
100%.
I absolutely. So Todd, because you weren't able to watch the clip either, when he's saying the tush push, he's also like grabbing some tush and pushing it forward.
He said a plump. What do you say? A plump.
Plump.
tush?
Yeah.
I love that answer. That might be the best answer we get all week. If the
Look,
Chiefs
could
lose. Oh yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah. Oh, he's what's the show that the really famous show?
Between the middle.
No, you're talking about
middle. Yeah. Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. Okay, that's him. Yeah, I can see that. That's a good one, Prince. But could you imagine, like 1 second left in the game, the Eagles are on the 1 yard line. They're down 5, and they get in on tush push with no time left.
That would be crazy.
That might be and it's just like, of course, it'd be the tush push. And then, of course, it'd get banned because it beat the Chiefs, so they would no longer be able to do that after. So if you want the tush push banned and you want the Chiefs to lose, this is probably the perfect combination for both of those to happen.
So true.
Yeah, and then it would go in of course, Super Bowl Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, the tush or the
last push.
The last push.
They can't have just cheeks in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Would they get like Jalen Hurts' pants that were pushed on and put it in?
I don't know. This is
They
wild.
probably have like a whole display where it's like you'd have like his pants, you'd have like the gloves of the guys behind him. Like,
Yeah. Would they inflate the pants to make it look like the tush?
At least the tush.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Wow, that would be wild. And man, just hearing Prince talk about Pat, it really is crazy how big Pat Surtain is. When the Broncos drafted him, he and Justin Simmons, to put it in perspective, Justin's a big, tall safety. He's not like massively built out, but he's a tall safety. Pat is the exact same height and weight as Justin Simmons. So Pat, a cornerback who's supposed to be smaller than a safety, is the same size as a tall safety. And even a guy that's 6 feet tall, as Prince is, said, man, that's the first thing I noticed was just how big he is.
Yeah. No, that's a big dude. That's a really big dude.
Todd definitely wants to say pause a couple of times in here right now.
There's a lot
Would you like to
going
talk
on.
about Pat's size, Todd?
Nope. I would not.
You have to save the pause for the best ones.
Is he bigger than
You
you?
can't just be saying pause all
I'm
show.
not going down the road.
No, I'm
not doing it.
asking
I'm not-
about size.
Okay.
Is he taller than you from
What kind of question
the
is
ground
that?
up?
Yeah, he might be a little bit taller than me.
I think he is,
Yeah, he
yeah.
might be.
Certainly is.
And no, you weighed more at least when you
Oh, for
played.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he
Without a doubt.
230 with
I
the
was like
Broncos?
235, yeah.
Yeah,
with the
235. Yeah, and Pat's 205, 215.
Well, maybe we get a chance to weigh him later.
Yeah, well, he's up for that Defensive Player of the Year honors. We caught up with one more person on this, so let's give a shout out before we get to that one. Let's give a shout out to our friends over at Coors Light, where if you need a drink, if you're going to be watching NFL honors tonight and you want to chill, Coors Light is the drink to go to. And, of course, tomorrow is a Coors Light Friday. Then the weekend is a Coors Light weekend. If you want to get a beer that's made to chill, one that we endorse, one that endorses us, Coors Light is the spot to go to because they're all about chilling. If you want a Coors Light delivered straight to your door, go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. They've teamed up with Instacart in order to get your beer served to you. So if you want to find out more, go to CoorsLight.com to find out where you can get Coors Light. Coors Light, celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And shout out to our friends over at Toyota. Toyota is actually here. They have a nice
They do.
Tacoma in their setup.
Yeah.
We talked about, maybe doing a show from the tailgate.
I saw Jaden Daniels sitting over there.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? But if you guys are
He
looking
must
for
love
some
Toyotas.
for a Toyota, everybody loves Toyotas. I bet you we could walk around here and interview every single person. They will tell you that they
Toyota,
love,
yep.
Toyota. If you guys are looking for any Toyotas out in Colorado, you got to check out our friends at your Front Range Toyota stores, specifically the Auto Nation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson's Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson's Toyota West in Lakewood. What'd you have to say?
Well, I was walking along the river, saw Shah Khan's big yacht. They had a monument in there for a bunch of people who died. Somebody put a Toyota on it. And I was like, that seems a little disrespectful. But there was a Toyota.
Well, Toyota is going places. Officially the automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
And let's go places with a trip out to, and a shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Deposit $10, place a $5 bet, $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. We appreciate Bet365 for a big reason of why we are out here right now. And speaking of going places, let's go out and talk to Dan Orlovsky, where we talk about many things. Let's hear from Dan right now. A lot of comparisons with Bo Nix on Drew Brees from people. Is that too far, or do you kind of see the similarities?
Well, we're not saying they're the same player. We're saying the style of play is similar. I think some of the mannerisms are similar. Obviously, Drew is one of the greats and a Hall of Famer. So there's a very high bar, but I think the consistent ball placement, accuracy in the quick game, and that's a big deal because it leads to yards after the catch for an offense, and that's a foundational piece of Sean's offense. I think, too, the ability to operate the play-action pass, again, a huge part of Sean's offense. And there's a lot of intellectual strain on Sean Payton's quarterbacks at the line of scrimmage, long play calls, all that. He handles that at a very high level, so a lot of the style bodes well for Bo to be very similar,
You know, Sean keeps saying that they need a dynamic playmaker, a joker.
Yep.
Whether it be a tight end or a running back.
Yep.
As a young quarterback, if you had to choose one, which position do
Tight
you
end.
think?
Tight end, because the tight end, he's capable of doing so much. One, you gather information pre-snap by your formations. You create mismatches not only for that player but also other players on your offense. And then more often than not, that tight end, if he is a really dynamic player, there's not a lot of people that can handle those guys, both in man or zone. So I say the tight end for sure.
Is Tyler Warren that guy?
He's an absolute monster. Yeah, Tyler Warren is, look, if you were asking me to give him an NFL comp right now, he's a little bit similar to Trey McBride in Arizona. I don't think he's as sudden athletically as McBride. He's got a little bit more of a Dallas Goedert type of, and Mark Andrews type of run style to him, but really, really big-time player.
You know, there's a lot of debate about the Broncos receivers, whether they have enough to succeed. In the past, Sean hasn't invested too much in that position, and it's more so the tight ends and the running backs.
Yes.
Do you think, Cortland Sutton is number one, those young guys kind of back him up? Is that enough for the Broncos, or they need to add?
I like Vele. I like Mims. Sutton he's been a good player, reaffirmed being a really good player. Sean's always had great offensive lines as well, and so that's a trend in Denver. I do think having that, to Sean's point, that joker, that mismatch piece, that Jimmy Graham type of person takes that offense to a different level.
Is Pat Surtain the Defensive Player of the Year?
I voted for Pat Surtain as the Defensive Player of the Year. I thought he was the best player at one of the, if not the best defenses in football.
Let's go final one for you, Dan. We're from Denver. How would you like to see the Chiefs lose this Super Bowl?
I want to see history. So I want to see history now. I also married a Philly girl, so she hates me for that, but I want to see history.
Well, you've got the green on, so we can appreciate that.
Yeah, she dresses me.
Thanks, Dan. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Dan for joining us there. Guys, 3 big takeaways from me on that one. And the first one is tight end over running back. Todd, you didn't even let her get your question in before answering that.
Yeah, he knew where I was going, and he obviously felt very strongly about his opinion on that. And I don't know if I agree, but I think either one is great for the Denver Broncos, and I definitely see what he's saying about the tight end and how that can really be a game changer for Bo and have somewhere to go with the ball very quickly and create matchups across the board that are favorable for the offense. So yeah, I'm all for it. Like we said, either one of these positions, if the Broncos fill it with a dynamic player, we are more than happy.
Yep.
Do you take it with more than a grain of salt that he's a quarterback? Do you think if we asked most quarterbacks, they would also go tight end?
Yes. I think so. Don't take it with a grain of salt, but I do think that that benefits a quarterback more. Like, he's going to have more stats because a dynamic tight end than a running back. Like, the running back will have more stats, and there could be things that could help them as far as how defenses have to now stop this dynamic running back, so it allows for more things to open up in the back end of defenses. But I think ultimately a good quarterback with a good tight end is going to have more yards.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you just need somebody who'll just sit right there and take the ball when you need to get rid of it because nothing else worked. Like, it seems so easy, but for some reason the Broncos just can't find somebody who can do that.
And this is all about Bo, and so you get him the one that he needs most, and if that is that tight end, then, man, that's priority number one. And would you take, he mentioned a couple of guys, Trey McBride, Dallas Goedert, not necessarily he's that Tyler Warren isn't Brock Bowers, but he's one of those guys. Would you take that with the 20th pick if I guaranteed you he's Trey McBride,
Absolutely.
Dallas Goedert?
Like, you take that with the 5th pick. Like, those guys are crazy. Those are Pro Bowlers.
Do you agree, Todd?
Yes, I agree, without a doubt.
And then the final takeaway that I had is he
James
voted.
Harrison, he just got
James Harrison. That's
about to fight Ocho yesterday.
Oh,
you
that's
see that?
right. I did see that.
Was that serious?
I don't know.
Can never tell.
It felt a little real.
It did feel a little real.
Have you ever fought someone?
Yeah.
Like off the football field?
Yeah. What do you mean? Have you been in a fight before?
Of course not. No.
Oh. Not one?
No.
Push? Have you gotten in a shoving match?
No. Have you been in a full fist fight?
A verbal altercation?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been in a full fist fight.
Wow. When was this?
Yesterday? No,
Yesterday. With Henry? Is that why he has a black eye?
No, I haven't been in a fight in a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any other takeaways? Oh, really cool. He voted for Pat Surtain. So we've talked to him who voted for Pat Surtain. We've talked to Mike Silver who voted for Pat Surtain. Man,
Smart guys.
we can. It's going to happen tonight, and it's going to be awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, it is going to be awesome.
Any other takeaways?
No. I mean, it's good. He seemed positive about the future of the Broncos, which I enjoy. Yeah, but no, it's good stuff.
Well, we've got one more good thing to talk about, or to hear from. We talked to Kyle Rudolph, Todd's former teammate.
Yes, sir.
In two different places. One for a year in Minnesota and one for 5 days in New York when you had your short stint there.
Yes, sir.
And it's a really cool conversation to hear about what Kyle is doing and then also pick his brain about the tight end position. And then after, we're going to be joined by Alex Singleton. So let's hear from Kyle Rudolph now. All right, we are thrilled to bring on NFL legend and two-time Pro Bowler Kyle Rudolph. And before we get into everything, especially picking your brain about the tight end position since the Broncos need one big time, you're joining us on behalf of nonprofit Good Sports to discuss youth advocacy and your community work. Kyle, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Good Sports?
Yeah, so I got introduced to Good Sports this past year. I spoke on a panel that they had in New York City just about charity, nonprofit, philanthropic work, and their specific focus is around kids. Kids in sports. I learned, the more I connected with them, the more I learned about what they do and organizations that they support. 75% of parents consider taking their children out of sports because they can't afford it. Wow. When we were kids, that wasn't a thing. Like youth sports, you signed up. I played football for the school team. My equipment wasn't great, but who cares? Like, yeah, I had the helmet. I had shoulder pads, thigh pads, knee pads. Like, that was it. My dad thankfully worked in the sporting goods industry, so I got new cleats for football season. I got fresh kicks when basketball started. I got a new bat and cleats when baseball started. That's not the case for a lot of kids across our country. And what Good Sports does is make sure that they provide that equipment for kids who wouldn't have it. And it's a huge confidence thing, too, for the kids. Like, when they get a new pair of cleats or a new pair of shoes, they feel like they belong. They're not going out there with some raggedy old equipment kind of being, a little shy and have less self-confidence about what they're wearing or what they look like. Swag wasn't a thing when I was a kid. Like, it just wasn't. Like, yeah, you like to think you look good, but, like, I look back at old pictures and you just look like a dork.
What are they doing?
Now the kids, like, I look at my son's, like, 6-year-old baseball team, and they've got, like, the little like mitt for sliding and elbow pads and the necklaces on. And I'm like, I looked like a dork. Like my pants didn't even like get to my ankles, and yet I didn't pull them up either to have like the high look. So for these kids to be able to provide them with the equipment to, look good, to feel like they belong, that's most important. And, will these kids all go on and play in college or in the NFL one day? No, probably not. But there's so much that you learn throughout the course of youth sports that teaches you about being a man and being a good teammate and being a good friend and handling adversity, that it would be a huge disservice to these kids if they weren't able to do it because they can't afford it.
That's really, really cool, Kyle, and a really cool mission that you're on. If you were, did you hear about what the Broncos did last week? Their ownership group made the biggest donation that the Broncos have ever made, $12 million to provide new helmets to every single high school football player in the state. And it seems like you would understand just how impactful that could be.
Yeah, and when you think about the significance of that gift and the donation to provide probably the most vital piece of equipment for high school kids. People ask me all the time. I have 2 young boys. They're 6 and 3. Oh, will you let your sons play football? I'm like, if they want to. They don't have to play football because I played football, so now they can do whatever they want. They have way more opportunities than I had. But when you get to that level, like there's real collisions, and the equipment, especially your helmet, is a huge piece of equipment. And, we're seeing now with the advances in technology, the game has never been more safe, but you have to have appropriate equipment. Yeah. If you're out there with an old helmet that hasn't been reconditioned and isn't the, appropriate standard, it's really unsafe. So an incredible gesture by the Broncos organization group to make that gift and provide those to all of the high school kids in the state of Colorado. So I did see that, and it's incredible.
Yeah. How long have you been working with Good Sports?
So I got introduced to them this past year.
Okay.
So spoke on a panel with them in, I think, like November of this past year, and really just aligned with their vision and mission. It's funny, my dad was in the sporting goods industry. So had I not had my dad, I would have been just like these kids who couldn't afford new gear, would have been wearing old equipment. And so just aligning with their mission, having kids of my own, understanding how fortunate my kids are. My 6-year-old, Dad, I want the Mike Trout cleats. I'm like, shut up. It's cool that they're able to provide these resources to kids to, make them feel confident, make them feel comfortable, make them feel like they belong, give them the opportunity to stick with sports. Because I'm a huge advocate for kids sticking with sports. I just think you learn so much about yourself and about life and how to be with others, work with others, that you just don't get if you're not out there playing sports.
I think that's really cool, man. I think it's important to give back, and appreciate what you're doing, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I was really excited when I knew you were coming on because I wanted to ask you about that tight end position.
Yeah.
I think it's widely known that tight ends usually take time to develop in the league. It's rare that a tight end goes off in his first year, even though one did this year.
Yeah.
But what is it about that position that makes it tough to kind of understand how you fit in the scheme and the role you're supposed to play that usually takes guys time to develop?
Well, I think when you, first of all, talking about Brock, like, we knew he was going to be good as a freshman at Georgia. It's like, this kid will be a first-round pick whenever he decides to leave school or whenever he's eligible to leave school. So I don't think there was a surprise there. Maybe the level of success that he had is surprising because, as you said, it's a difficult position to transition to the league. But I think now as offenses are becoming kind of more college style, you're not seeing tight ends that play a college-style spread offense where they never put their hand in the ground, they never have to block anyone on first and second down, and then, get open on third down. They're running an offense that they're familiar with. Coordinators are getting smart to the point where, like, okay, if I have Brock Bowers as my tight end, it would be a travesty to put him next to the tackle and say, hey, you got to block that defense. No, we're not doing that. So I think coordinators are starting to understand, like, hey, let's just, let's put him on a route. Like, somebody has to cover him, and it's no different if somebody's covering him or if he's blocking. So you're seeing the RPO world and things like that to where these tight ends that they're basically receivers.
Yep.
You can do that. Back in the day, you couldn't do it. Like we had, if it's a tight end and 3 receivers, the tight end's lining up next to the tackle. Maybe you get flexed out a little bit, but I think offenses are changing, and that's allowing these younger tight ends to be more comfortable early in their career and have success. And we're seeing it. Trey McBride in Arizona, Sam Laporta came in last year and had a huge year as a rookie. So it's fun. Like as a tight end, watching the tight ends across the league, the guys, they're representing for our position for sure.
And Kyle, like Todd said, the Broncos are in need of a tight end, and people are looking to the draft now, especially after what Brock did last year. And Tyler Warren from Penn State is a guy that is just really intriguing Broncos country. What have you seen from him? And I mean, Broncos, he might not last till the pick 20, but do you think he could come in and have a big impact?
Yeah, he's an interesting guy because he kind of, quarterback. There's a tight end playing on Sunday that was a quarterback when he got recruited. It's done pretty well. And you guys have seen a lot of in your division.
Oh, yeah.
But you kind of watched a little bit of him throughout the course of the year. Then obviously Notre Dame played Penn State in the Orange Bowl, so got to watch him firsthand and just, a guy that can really do it all. They're throwing him screen passes, and he caught a deep over route in that game. That was a huge play. So he definitely has a skill set, in my opinion, that transitions to the NFL. I think he'll be, Brock's now kind of set this unfair standard for guys coming into the NFL. Do I think he's Brock Bowers? No. When you watched Brock as a true freshman at Georgia, you're like, this kid's different. He's got something that not a lot of guys you see in college football. It'll be interesting. I think if you have the luxury of taking a tight end in the first round, that probably means you're a pretty good football team. I think the tight end position is not one where it's like, hey, we need a difference maker. Like, let's go get it. As much as I love tight ends, like, hey, I'm here to rep for our position, but if you need a difference maker, you're probably not taking a tight end. So it's good for the Broncos, in a situation where they've kind of built that roster after Russell departed. And getting to a place where you have that luxury of taking a tight end in the first round if he's there.
Well, and it seems like those first-round tight ends, they're guys like Brock Bowers or Kyle Pitts, guys who are almost pure receivers.
Yeah.
With Tyler Warren, it's kind of interesting because he's 260 pounds. He can go hit people too. And it seems like as much fun as it is to have all these receiving tight ends, those guys who can also block have become pretty rare in the NFL.
Absolutely. I mentioned Sam Laporta. In my opinion, he's kind of the only young guy that still, gets down and dirty and mixes it up in the trenches. So, it is kind of – but that's the position as a whole. It's evolving to this, if you're 235 pounds and you can run, I don't care if you can block anybody. Again, that's my job to make sure I don't put you in that situation because now I can create mismatches where, maybe you're going against a slot corner who you're bigger than or, Todd, no offense, a linebacker. It's like, we get a guy like Brock Bowers on a linebacker. We like our chances. I think this league is all about creating matchups, and when you have a tight end who can run like some of these guys are now, they're receivers. But you can't come out and play dime. We got essentially 4 receivers on the field because they can block enough.
If
they have to block a corner, they're going to be able to do it. So it definitely creates issues for defenses. It makes it hard. But then also, too, you go out there and throw a tight end in the game with them that can block. Now what do you do? Do we treat it like 11 personnel and line up, and now he is blocking a corner again? So I think it's fun seeing offenses evolve, the way they're using tight ends, the production from the tight end position. Obviously, we're going to see 2 really good ones on Sunday in the game in Dallas Goedert and Travis Kelce. So no coincidence, you look back at all these teams that are winning championships, seemingly always have a good tight end.
You're starting to get me fired up. I feel like I need to put some pads on and see if
we're done with that, TV.
No, not you. But
just touching me anymore. We had those days.
No, I'm saying like versus the Brock Bowers or something. See if I still got a couple more plays in me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not messing around with it. Those young guys can have it.
Do you ever miss the game or wish you had more opportunities to be in the slot or be out at one and, you know, got a little different variety of routes you could have ran?
Absolutely. I mean, I think I do not miss playing anymore. Like, very lucky to have played a long time and me personally make the decision that, hey, I'm good. I want to do something else.
Yeah.
I want to move on to what's next. I want to be at home with the kids more often and around my family more often. So a lot of guys, you know, the game is taken away from them before they're ready. They don't get the chance to walk away.
Yeah.
And you kind of become jaded to the game of football, and you can't – people, oh, can you watch the game and just enjoy it? Like, absolutely. I'm a fan now. Like, it's great. I can watch all the time and enjoy it. But – looking back, it's, you know, I played for a long time in Minnesota in a very run-heavy offense. Rightfully so. We had Adrian Peterson and Dalvin Cook. We had two pretty good backs. But, you know, you see guys that played in pass-heavy offenses and were moved around and got to do other things. And it would have been fun. But I chose that. I signed 2 extensions in Minnesota early, never wanted to get anywhere near free agency. Loved what we had in Minnesota and the culture that we had and thought we had a legitimate chance of winning a championship. And we got close. We came up 1 game short. But that was a decision that I personally made.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me to look back and be like, oh, well, I wish, or, you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Definitely. As a competitor, like, I always wanted the ball.
Yep.
It's like, you know, come on, 3rd down, throw it to me. Red zone, throw it to me. Like, let's do it. But, you know, yeah, definitely – always wish you could have done more. Certainly would be fun to play in today's game and get to move around like these guys are. But very happy with how things played out for me.
Well, and speaking of today's game, you've mentioned the 2 tight ends in the Super Bowl that's going on Sunday. What do you think of how will the Chiefs lose this game, being from Denver?
Philly has to get up 2 scores.
Yep.
If it's a 1-score game late in the 4th quarter, we've seen this book a million times. Like, we know how it's going to end. We've read that story. So I said it earlier, like, ultimately Philly has to get in a position to where they're up multiple scores. You get up a couple scores, you make the Chiefs one-dimensional, you rush the passer, you could put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and he can't have the ball in a 1-score game late in the 4th quarter.
Yep.
Because if he has the ball with less than 5 minutes left, he's never lost. So that won't change. It's crazy.
Yes.
He's never lost. Like, the next closest quarterback, I think, are Drew Brees and Tom Brady. And they're like, if they have the ball with less than 5 minutes left in a 1-score game, they win like 50%.
Oh, my God.
Patrick's 100%. He's never lost with the ball under 5 minutes left in the game.
That's so depressing.
It's crazy. I mean, it's just insanity to think about that statistic.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that's how we'll know. You know, Philly, you have to be up 9 points or more late in the game.
Yep, wow, that is crazy. Kyle, we know you play tight end, but before you get out of here, you want to try your kicking game out here, see if you can make one?
Know, you know, a little bit back in the day, the little left.
Just a little left.
Definitely
let's give it one more shot.
The paper football back in the day.
Here we
did
go.
all this sitting around the lunch table. There we go.
Oh, he's clutch.
Let's go. You're like Mahomes.
2 minutes left on the clock.
There we go.
Well, Kyle, we really appreciate your time and really cool to learn about the work that you're doing with Good Sports. We appreciate you in the community and being here, and you can learn more at goodsports.org.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks,
sir.
Kyle.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Man, really cool, and it's cool how much that blends in with what the Broncos organization's doing, getting helmets for every single football player in the state of Colorado.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to give back, and I really love what he's doing, and, you know, life after football. You take you so many different directions, but I think the direction he's going right now is awesome.
And you were friends with him, or your families were close, right?
Yeah, it was COVID year, so, you know, my wife and kids used to go over their house to watch some of the games because, you know, families couldn't go. But, yeah, it was a good time, man. It was good, really good guy.
What did you think of playing during COVID without any fans in the stadium?
It was trash. Well, no, actually, sometimes I liked it because it was just quiet.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to worry about crowd noise or anything like that. I'm just focused. I could talk to you normal tone. You know, we just made a check. It doesn't have to be this big yelling match. So it wasn't too bad, but I did miss, like, my family being able to be there. That's the part didn't like.
Could you hear what the offense was saying?
Yeah, we heard everything. Yep, and you know all the TV copies, you kind of hear some of the checks and stuff they make. Now you're just watching. Well, you can watch any film and see it, you know, and you kind of have a really good understanding for the checks they make, the plays that they want to run, and how they're attacking offenses because you hear everything.
Did it help the offense or defense more, or was it a net neutral?
It's got to be defense, right? Oh, except for, I guess, the crowd
No,
noise.
yeah, baby, crowd noise is just obsolete for opposing quarterbacks. And normally, you know, certain plays can get so loud, it throws off the snap count, throws off the cadence. Like, a lot of bad things can happen if the crowd's into the game.
Loudest place you played?
Probably Missoula, right?
What'd you say, MetLife? Denver? Yeah, for sure. I would just say probably Superdome was loudest, or Kansas City, maybe late December.
Yeah, wrong answer. You should have said Denver. I'm just kidding.
You didn't say that. You didn't ask me the best.
I'm just kidding. So Superdome.
You didn't ask me the best place I played.
There we go.
You
There
just
we
asked
go.
me the
I was hoping
loudest.
you were going to say Missoula.
Wait, so Superdome or where else? What was the other one?
Maybe Kansas City. Like
Oh,
late
yeah.
December. Yeah.
Yep. That's fair. Yeah, would you want to say any good things about Missoula?
No. There's nothing
You
good
know,
out there.
Tony Romo got asked, he played a playoff game in Seattle. And somebody was like, pretty loud, right? And he was like, no, I've played Missoula, Montana. It's probably on YouTube still somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Tony knows ball.
He's going to hold that one up for the rest of
Yeah,
his
that's
life.
all they have.
Yeah.
It is.
Tony
We are
Romo
noisy.
once said something nice about us.
He did.
Yeah, he's not even.
Wow,
He's not
how
even
many
a
Super
champion,
Bowls
bro.
does he have? Is what you hear just asked.
Wow.
Woo, man.
Anti-Tony, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Anti-DLLS. Why don't you tell that to our guys? Oh, they're actually the
They
only
look
ones
so
not
sad.
on set right now. Well, those are PHLY guys.
But they do look sad.
But they should be happy right now. Everyone, except for Dan Orlovsky, is pulling for them. That's kind of crazy that Dan Orlovsky wants to see history.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard it explained that way.
Yeah. I don't. It just. I feel like I want to wait. I want that to be like a thing. You know. It's.
For it
I
to
felt the
never
same way
happen.
for like the Cubs, where it's like the Cubs finally had been 100 years or whatever since they've won a World Series, and I was like, let's go 100 more. Then it'd be really electric.
But would you want to see it?
I don't care about the Cubs.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
care
fair.
about the 3 in a row. No, I mean, maybe if I was older, if I was like 70, I could be like, yeah, at least I lived to see this. But I don't think that's how I'd see it. I probably have other
But
stuff
if it
on my
was the
mind.
Broncos and we
Yeah.
had that opportunity, you would want to see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Broncos can win the Super Bowl whenever they want. I am 100% down.
Yeah, see, I'm going to have to disagree with you because I want Cubs fans pulling for the Rockies to, like, finally get their first division title, like, 50 years in or something like that.
Oh, I mean, we're halfway there. What, last year's the 25th year and still no division titles?
I think 30th.
I
think we're at
Dang.
30
94.
now.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
would be.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
And no division titles.
It's horrible.
Like, we
mean-
thought the Broncos were struggling this past decade.
It isn't the NFL, though. Like, those are 5-team divisions, so.
But
What's
still,
the big deal? One more team?
Yeah.
That's not a big deal.
Looks like you guys know the Red Bull girls that walk around or, like, drive around and hand out free Red Bulls? Looks like we got some Reese's girls today
I think
handing
it's
out.
Reese's. What do you think, Todd?
Reese's.
I do say Reese's Cup.
Because
What
the
do you
name
say?
is Reese.
Reese's.
Reese's?
No, not Reese's.
What do you say? You say something different
Reese's.
than Todd.
Reese's.
Yeah.
Reese's Cup.
Because,
Peanut
like,
butter
if
cup.
you just saw, if there was no, like, at the end, you would just say Reese, like Reese Witherspoon.
Reese's.
And then if you
but
said,
there is
I'm
an
go-
S at the end.
Yeah, and so, but if you were to say, like, I'm going, like, if you were going to her house, you would say, I'm going over to Reese's house, not Reese's house. She doesn't become Reese.
Yeah, but this isn't a girl. This is something that you eat.
Named Reese. Well, started by Reese.
Yeah. It's
Was
like
it started
Wendy's.
by Reese?
Wendy's.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
all of a sudden to say, like, Wendy's.
You know who Wendy's is?
A restaurant.
You know who she is?
She was the daughter of the owner,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
They talk about a favorite right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about how Coach Prime up in Boulder,
Oh.
pranks his kids.
Yeah.
This one just got a whole restaurant chain named after her. How did the other
Wow.
kids feel?
Like, garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. They must be, too.
Wow, that's intense. Well, really quick, we've got a super chat that we need to hit coming in from our friend Walter Brandstatter, coming in with some pounds, 10 pounds. Thank you, Walter, who says, greetings from Austria, diehard Broncos fan since 1995. Can't believe Steve Atwater and Champ Bailey are visiting y'all, two of my all-time heroes.
I bet those were Euros. I don't think they have pounds in Austria, right?
Could
Maybe,
be.
I could be
yeah,
wrong.
Yeah, you're right. It might have been a euro. Good
Wow.
call.
Thank you for the 10 euros.
Which might be more or less than pounds. I think it's, I don't know. I don't know how the
Ooh,
pounds
we
do on
also
these
haven't said
days.
this, but we are going to Ryan's Irish Pub at 8 o'clock for the NFL Honors. We're going to go watch there. You're all invited. We meant to say this days ago.
So Henry will be there.
Yes.
Who knows if anyone else will be there?
I'll be there.
So, yeah, make sure to come out. Ryan's Irish Pub in New Orleans to watch Pat Surtain take home Defensive Player of the Year awards this week. I have heard that Bo Nix is going to be there. I've heard that Sean Payton's going to be there.
Well, they're both finalists.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's sometimes
if you're
where
a
they don't
finalist for an
go.
award, you got to go.
I agree.
For those awards.
But it doesn't mean that they will go. But those guys are going to be there, so maybe some red carpet moments for them. And then also Alex Singleton, who's up for Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, is going to be there. And, of course, Pat Surtain. Who do you think is going to be dressed the nicest?
Pat.
Come on now. Yeah, that's not even like a question.
Yep. Okay, who's going to be dressed the worst?
That's not a question either.
The best shoes is what you hear is asking.
Uh,
I think it's still Pat, though. Yeah.
You hear's making the case for Sean. Man, can you wear Jordans? I don't know. We can't hear what you're saying. You have to stop hearing. You have to stop talking. It hurts.
You hear like some nice pair of ones with the right suit.
Nice pair of ones. Do you like that?
You know what those are?
Nope.
You know what he's saying?
I know what a Jordan is. I don't know what a one is.
Jordan 1.
Yeah.
You know Jordan has multiple
Yeah.
sneakers?
But I don't know. Do you know what a one looks like off the top of your head?
Yes, absolutely.
You can picture it.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is like the most iconic. When you think of Jordan and the first shoe, that's the one.
That's the one.
Yes. Do you know what the first shoe looks like? Like the high top Jordan 1 with the swoosh on the side?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He'd wear that with a suit?
Yeah, people wear. Dan Orlovsky has some Jordans on.
That's
with
true.
his suit.
That's true. Yeah. All right, guys. Any final thoughts? I mean, we're trying to stall.
I feel like
trying to stall for Singleton
credential pickup was super quick for us. I'd imagine super quick for him because here's the way it works. They have this face scanner. So you go up there, like, you don't even have to say, like, my name is this or whatever.
They know
you just put your face in it, and it immediately says, like, oh, you're Henry Chisholm. I'm like, oh, that's – how do you know that? I would imagine for players even – who's that? Oh, that's Orlando Brown again. Just so big, catches my eye every time. Yeah, I'd imagine players, they can pick that up so quick.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Todd, help us stall.
Let's see who's around here that we could talk to.
It's Orlando Brown again.
Yeah, big body.
That's a big
Man, I tasked you guys with finding some stall tactics during
we're
the Rudolph
doing it right
We're
now.
playing a game of who's that. So, for example, who's that?
It's who dat when you're in New Orleans.
That's true. Who dat?
Where are the balls? We could because none of us have tried, right? Or
we have a little
tried?
kickoff.
Atwater kicked him.
It was perfect.
Did you hear fetch them? He's looking for him
dang,
right now.
Over there. There should be one more.
You know what? We might just have to wrap right here.
No. We'll have Alex tomorrow.
You guys aren't.
definitely have
This
Alex
is a
on.
podcast, and you guys aren't talking.
No, it's fun. You just gotta relax. You just gotta relax. See, look.
Okay, wait.
that's
Question:
one.
best meal you've had so far? Before we go out, because I think unless RG, you want to join? You want to hop on?
The ice cream at the media party.
Guest RG. We need guest RG.
That's the best meal. That's not a meal. That's dessert.
Just sad.
It was
Do you
our
know where
meal
you
that
are?
night.
No, I thought you had the dirty rice and everything. You didn't like that?
Yeah, it was good.
Char grilled oysters.
It was really good.
Nothing beats ice cream.
It was really good. Oh yeah, nothing beats ice cream.
And it's funny because that ice cream was just ice cream with fudge on it.
Yep.
It
Well,
was
there's a
very
little
basic.
cake too. Yeah.
Oh, is this like Rivers, Oceans, and
Best,
Lakes?
no, best meal you've had. And
Best
don't
meal
say
I've had
ice cream.
ever? Or
No,
here?
here. Yeah.
Oh,
that's true.
dude. We had gumbo somewhere. But
Yeah.
the gumbo here
Yeah.
has been phenomenal. Anywhere you eat, it's
They do
just
know
like
their gumbo.
They chose a really good like food to be known for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gumbo is one of them.
I still want to eat some crawfish.
Have you seen one of those things? I want to see you. I want to see you eat a
Break it
like
open.
a-
I can figure it out.
Yeah.
I can figure it out.
It's got the little
you gotta
eyes
suck
on
the
it
brains.
still.
You gotta suck the brains.
Hey,
You don't have to.
Oh my goodness.
They say that's the best part.
Sounds like you're pretty
Ooh,
good at
who
it.
dat? No, he's just big. He's
Bro, it's been that way though. You know how I know I'm old is that I'm pretty sure that's an NFL player, but I don't know who it is.
Right. Well, at least you know who Terrell Davis is.
Oh, that's
when we
true.
talked to a lot of
Yeah.
Eagles and Chiefs players, they had no idea who he was.
Would you know the Eagles' most famous running back?
Saquon.
Okay. That's a little. That was kind of a layup.
Ask me about the Chiefs.
Are you gonna go?
They've had
Chiefs.
so
I
many.
don't know. Yeah, who do you go with? Is it
The
Priest
best of all time?
Holmes?
Yeah,
Is
dude.
it
Priest Holmes, Jamal Charles,
Jamal Charles.
Larry
Chris-
Johnson.
Christian
yeah,
Okoye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot better than the Eagles.
Yeah. Who would the Eagles be besides Saquon?
Shady.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Sean
yeah,
McCoy.
good
He was
call.
electric.
Dang, I don't know.
I feel like they have to have somebody nice in there.
Oh, Brian Westbrook.
Oh.
Yeah, Brian Westbrook.
Right. Yeah.
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Good job in the
was awesome.
comments there, Broncos fan. Oh no, sorry, Jose.
Shout out to
had
the
it.
Toyota
Shout
chat,
out.
Yeah,
specifically
Toyota
Jose.
chat.
I thought-
RG,
so they were all calling me a tweaker earlier because I'm looking around so much. But that's part of the fun of the Super Bowl is you tweak and you look at
when
all
you're
the
on
different
when you're
people.
on the show though, you dial in.
Yeah,
you dial in.
dial into the world around
Yeah.
you.
Are you high on
No.
methamphetamine?
Who dat?
You hear saying it's because your eyes are too
Stephen
wide.
A. Smith is over there.
Oh.
Oh man, he is a guy. When he walks around, he has like the biggest group
Huge.
of entourage
Huge,
and paparazzi following him. Maybe
Big
more than
dog.
anyone else.
It's nice when you see their assistants, but you know they're big when they also have their friends that are pushing you out of the way. No, we're
Yeah.
not. We're not talking to you today.
Todd, can you do that for me the rest of the day? Just push people
dat?
out of the way
What
when
you
I
mean?
walk.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I
thank
We'll
got
give
you.
Todd
you.
sunglasses and make you look like some big name dude.
Hey, watch out, watch out.
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz coming
Frankie
through.
Muniz, dude.
Whoa, we should try that.
You think
should
I could
try
get like
that.
on the Pat McAfee show as
Yes,
a guest?
Yeah, dude.
You could.
If
for
we
sure.
try, we could probably
We'll
get that far.
we'll give Todd a stack of papers that just says this is Zach Stevens, and he'll just like be handing them out.
Wow.
That's it.
What are your favorite interviews so far that you've shot?
I just
RG's the guy behind the camera for all these that you've seen.
all
Yes.
these cameras.
Yeah, those are the cameras.
I was just over there with DLLS. We just got Micah Parsons.
Okay, that's pretty good.
He was pretty good.
What'd you ask him? What'd they ask him?
He had a banger answer actually. They were he was like what do you think about like this year? And he was like, it's the best year of my life. I needed it. I needed the humbling. I needed the
Wow.
and I was like,
Wow.
dang.
See, I would have asked him, what's it like to be the second best defensive player in your draft class?
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's a
true.
good
He
one.
was asked about Luka.
Oh, okay.
But
There's
yeah,
Diana Rossi.
that was cool.
And
she is.
Miles Garrett?
No, haven't
Miles
seen
Garrett for Marca? Miles Garrett was here yesterday. Did you see
I
him?
saw him. Yes,
Huge.
didn't get Miles Garrett. He's
guy.
giant.
It's insane.
Giant.
Hey, who's the most famous person you've seen here?
Oh, most famous person I've seen here. Dang, that's a good. Who's yours?
Todd.
Thank you.
Shador and Travis Hunter, dude.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that's pretty big time.
if we're going follower count, that's
Who dat?
probably
Probably
dat?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp's definitely
Yeah.
up
And the
there.
Balenciaga.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We saw Sean Payton yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, there's RK.
Pretty big.
We had Emmett Smith on DLLS's set over here. There's just it's just so wild how you can literally just look around and go, oh, know them.
Yeah.
It's just the
Well, if
entire
you do
football
that, you're a
world is
tweaker.
here.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
well, if you're just
unfortunately, we have to wrap right
way.
now.
Who are we
So
waiting on?
Alex Singleton, he's in the building. He's
Bro.
coming to us, but there's another interview here in just a second. So we'll get Alex on tomorrow's show. RG, you want to shoot that one
I can
for us?
shoot that one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
stay tuned to tomorrow's show. We're gonna have Pat Surtain. We're gonna have so many people on the
Philly's
show.
got the Eagles cheerleaders. You should grab the Eagles cheerleaders.
All right, that'll do it. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going at 3 p.m. to make sure that we get Terrell Davis, Pat Surtain, Alex Singleton, Ed McCaffrey. It's going to be huge. We'll see you tomorrow.